All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is the misconceptions, traditional bow hunting misconceptions of honey holes and thinking that they're going to make you a better hunter. Beautiful spot out here, swamp right there. You can hear everything going on, wildlife everywhere. Love this area. And we go out and we find these areas and we find these spots that we want to hunt, and we start killing deer there, start killing animals. Next thing you know, we're like, this is one of the best spots ever. I'm almost guaranteed to kill a deer here. Or you have private land and you got, you've been on that land so long that you know where your stands are. They're permanently left up. You know, on this wind direction, this spot's going to produce a stand or produce deer, and they're going to come through here. These are honey holes. These are hot spots. These are gold mine places that we can go to that are almost guaranteed. They're just good areas. What does that do for you, really? Okay, what benefit do you get from that? Realistically, it's nothing. It's more than nothing more than meat and horns is what you're getting out of it. And for many people, that may be what it's all about. That may be what you want. For a lot of us, especially people that are carrying a traditional bow, there's more to it than that, okay? It's nice to be able to have some of those places, be able to get in there once in a while when you do want to fill a freezer or when you're looking for something like that. But overall, our goal, the goal that I think is more important, is to, rather than find the honey holes and then keep hunting them, is to keep hunting for the honey holes. And I made a podcast about this, one of the last podcasts I made, probably that last 50 or so podcast, and I got quite a bit of grief for it. People thinking that I was crazy when I said give them away, give away your honey holes, give them to somebody else that needs them. And the reason I say that is our goal, what we're after, is to become better outdoorsmen. That is the whole purpose of carrying this weapon, this bow. This is it right here. It is not about killing animals as much as it is becoming a better hunter, a better outdoorsman, better at doing this stuff. This bow will take you there. It will force you to do that if you let it. If you shortcut it, if you, I don't want to say cheat on it, but if you cheat the system, then you miss out and you're not getting the full benefit of why you actually are carrying this to begin with. And that comes into play perfectly when it comes to honey holes. If you hunt for honey holes, you're learning, okay? If you're failing, you're learning. If you're not picking the right spots, you're learning. If you're off by 50 yards and have to readjust in the middle of the day, you're learning. If you go out and you realize that they're not here because something food source changed, you're learning. If you go out here and this rut spot was good last year, but now it's not because of the fact that foliage has changed, or now that what was corn was cover is now soybean and it's no longer cover, and you learn all these things and you move with it, and you're constantly evolving and you're constantly looking for fresh sign, and you're constantly on a ball and you're constantly going. That's hunting. Constantly looking for better funnels. How are they going to get from here to there? Where are they going to move through here? Here's an area I've never been in. How will deer move through here? How are they going to use it? This is stuff that helps us. This is stuff that educates us. These are things that make us better hunters, these bows. What do you mean? Okay, how come these deer keep walking by me at 30 yards? I can't shoot them with this at 30 yards. I need to get them inside at 20, preferably 15. Why am I keep setting up where I'm not getting any closer but then 25, 30 yards? What am I doing wrong? What's different? And when I set up in this next tree, what can take me from being 25 to 30 yards away to putting me into that 15-yard zone? How do I make that happen? What kind of adjustment? Where's the micro something that I need that's going to help me narrow that down? Where's something that's going to work for me? These are the things that this kind of stuff takes you to. When you find all that and you get it dialed in and you have a honey hole, what do you do now? You hunt a honey hole. And you stop learning instantly. That's it. Your learning is over. You're no longer paying attention. Your life goes from being somebody who used to know what the name of every street in your town was and where you went, and you used to know how to get somewhere even though it was 2 hours away by back roads because you knew it and you drove them and you never even once maybe even knew the name of the road. You just knew the landmarks, and this one's got this old church here, and then you turn left at this big oak tree, and then you go down here and where the fence is broke off here, and then this guy always parks the semi here, you turn right there. This is the world that we are in when you're paying attention to things. But as soon as you start going on your navigator and it tells you to take you here, you never pay attention to nothing ever again. You're just on go mode. You stop learning. You stop paying attention. You stop doing things. Honey holes are the same thing. Once you get, and it's not that hard to do, but once you've been hunting for a little while, you get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 honey holes set up and established, you could technically spend the rest of your life never hunting ever again, just killing animals. And that's not what myself or many people want to do. And we get a lot of people will get caught up in that, and they're after their, I have friends like that. They are incredible people, and they kill a lot of big deer every single year. Yet they haven't hunted in 10 years. They literally have not hunted in 10 years. They don't scout, they don't get ahead of time, they don't do nothing. They basically run cameras on their same 12 or 15 spots on private land that they've been doing for the last decade. And then they go out there based on that wind direction and camera technology. They go out there on opening morning and they pass up 2 or 3 120-inch deer. Here comes a 140, they shoot it and they're done. And they're bragging about it and how great it is. And I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just saying it's not hunting. You're not gaining anything. It's hunting, but it's not becoming a hunter. It's not becoming a better hunter. It's not getting better at what you do. Sorry, I thought I heard a truck coming. But you're not improving. You're not educating. You're not advancing. You're idle. You're dead in the water. You're not going anyplace. It's like the bait hunters as well too. Nothing against bait hunting. When I lived in Michigan, some of my good friends there, they spent their entire, older than I am too, spent their entire lives hunting bait. That's all they did. And they killed deer, hunting bait. And then they went to try and do an out-of-state trip, and they never saw a deer. In Illinois, one of the most, an incredible deer state, but never even saw a deer, and was on private land. Access to private land, hang your stand wherever you want to, a lease type deal, never even saw a deer, and he was there for 2 weeks. Never saw a deer. Why? Because he didn't know how to hunt. All he knew how to do was put out bait. If you're not putting out bait, he had no idea. 40 years of sitting over bait, no clue on anything else. Same concept happens with the honey hole. So my advice for him is find those honey holes, keep a few of them for friends, keep a few of them for just whenever you want to go to them for whatever, fill the freezer, just in one of those kind of moods or something like that. But your job with honey holes is to find them, prove that they're a honey hole, understand what they are, and then move on. Go find other honey holes. Go find more. Know they're there, leave them alone, don't get tempted by them, and go so that you keep educating yourself. Mother Nature, the wilderness, and one of these bows can teach you more than you can actually absorb and learn in a lifetime. Okay, hunting with one of these. People will argue that. Compound people, crossbow people, gun hunters, I think I'm full of crap. I get it, whatever. But I'm out here doing it with this, and I'm telling you. But it doesn't matter the weapon. If you become a student of what the woods has to offer, you have no choice but to learn. You have the choice to either do it or not do it. And when you take a honey hole and you make it primary, and that's the way you're going to hunt, then you've given up on the educational part of this. To myself, the education of this and constantly learning and evolving and becoming a better hunter is 1,000 times more important to me than killing the animal is. So find the honey hole, leave the honey hole, move on, go find another honey hole. Once you figure out and prove that it's actually a honey hole and it's that good, great, you did your job. Now go find another one. You can always circle back to it. But what happens more often than not, people get, like I said, 6, 8, 10 honey holes, and then that's all they hunt anymore. 3 years goes by, they don't even know how to hunt anymore. They don't even have a clue. It's over. It's done. All they're doing is just going out there, sitting in the same spots, killing the deer the same way. Everything else has become lost, like your directions when you're using your navigator. Lost, like your ability to research something and figure it out when you're constantly just say, hey, Google, what's this? And they tell you. Okay, it's these kind of things. Life changes. Don't let the honey holes change the way you hunt. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.